Hi, I'm Jai, a Malaysian design student studying in Singapore. When I first came across Nuuk Psychiatric Clinic, I thought this doesn't feel like a psychiatric clinic. My impressions came from movies, social medias, and pop culture. Those concrete crack walls, locked corridors, and cold tiles. Oh my gosh. So seeing this warm yellow building with large windows disputes my assumptions. It made me question something I had never really thought about before. Can architect itself become a form of care? That questions become the starting point of my research. Nuuk Psychiatric Clinic is currently under construction and it's expected to open around 2027. It was designed by a Scandinavian architecture firm, White Architecture, as Greenland's first purpose-built psychiatric hospital. Rather than simply treating illness, this project aims to support healing through architecture. But as I look deeper, I realize the project raises much big questions like what these design intentions mean for users. So, what counts as design? At first, I thought design was simply the building itself. But the more I researched, I realized almost everything was intentionally designed. The yellow facade referenced Greenland's traditional healthcare buildings for familiarity. Large windows reflect more natural light to help reduce seasonal depressions during long Arctic winters. While timber softens institutional feel, even the layout encourages movement, social interaction, and views towards nature. As someone with a background in photography and visual communication, I naturally noticed aesthetics first, but I now see design as shaping how people experience and interact with a space. The project moves away from the institutional model I've imagined, using open courtyards and nature lighting to create less restrictive environment. At first, I found this comforting because these are the qualities I personally associate with well-being. But I realized that my experience cannot represent everyone. Openness may feel liberating to some, others may need privacy, control, and less stimulation. This shifted my understanding of care, whereby healthcare design cannot rely on one-size-fits-all idea of well-being. As I continue researching, I realized the project's story was mainly told through news media and journals, while patients' everyday experiences were largely absent. This made me reflect on my own research process. As an outsider, I cannot claim to know what receiving care here feels like. I learned that lived experience is also knowledge, and community should be heard throughout the design process. I also started thinking about how the designers work. Why architecture combines architectural expertise, environmental research, healthcare evidence, and medical collaboration. However, professional knowledge can still overshadow local wisdoms and lived experience. This reminded me that designers need to bring different forms of knowledge together and stay open to perspectives that may challenge our own. This made me realize that good intentions don't guarantee good outcomes. The project used healing through architecture, but since it's not yet complete, we cannot know how patients will truly experience it. Recovery depends on relationships, cultures, and long-term care, not just beautiful visualizations. I now see visualizations as a promise of what architecture hopes to achieve, rather than proof of success. Now, comparing Nuuk Psychiatric Clinic with psychology practice design spaces based in Singapore. Its interior have denser urban environments where privacy and efficiency are more important considerations, which is completely opposite experience with Nuuk. Both show me that there is no universal formula for good mental health care design. What works in one context may not work in another. This advised me to be careful about using my own cultural and environmental thoughts as a standard for observing other people's spaces. Throughout this project, I realized many of my own assumptions. I naturally associate Scandinavian architecture with calmness and minimalism. And because the visuals are beautiful, I assume the building will succeed. But that is my own bias and shaped by my background in advertising and design. I often notice architecture before I notice users' experience. My biggest takeaway is not that Nuuk is a perfect example of healing architecture, but that it changed how I define good design. The colors, materials, and atmospheres are only part of the picture. As designers, we need to design with humility, stay open to different perspectives, and see people as more than just users.